Hi, everybody. I'm Louis Beaumander of LB Acting Studio, and all the coaches and I have sat around in our kitchen before class, after class, and we talked about great films, great scenes, and we've broken them down together, and we break them down for actors, and we thought it'd be really interesting to do it over YouTube. Finally, I'm coming of age. Took me long enough. The scene we're going to be doing is from Raging Bull. So, when was the last time you saw this film?
Oh, at least 10 years ago.
I think it's probably been almost that long. So,
Mhm.
I always reference this film,
Mhm.
and I've referenced this scene and a couple of the other scenes. But when it came to picking something to show, I thought, okay, what's De Niro capturing here? What's going on here that
Mhm.
I think acting students really need to see and appreciate?
Some people aren't that lucky. You remember that scene in the back of the car with his brother Charlie, a small-time racket guy, and it went something like this.
We have him, the actor,
It wasn't him, Charlie, it was you.
playing Jake
Remember that
LaMotta,
night at the garden, you came down my dressing room?
acting the role of Jake LaMotta, setting up a scene he's going to do for the audience.
As Marlon Brando.
As Marlon
Yeah. And it's just like that thing you said, right? Where it's like he's the actor playing the character, playing the character, playing the actor. And it would have been really easy to get like really wrapped up and complicated and trying to like show the audience that, so to speak. But he's just
Rehearsing.
a man sitting there rehearsing his lines.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's not that complex.
Mhm.
Like when you think about, okay, I'm an actor, but I'm playing Jake LaMotta, and I'm later in his life, and this I'm doing this. But no, I'm just a human being
Mhm.
sitting there preparing a speech I'm going to say when I go out front. And you strip away all the rest of that nonsense. We just worked out 2 years of theater school right there.
Night. So what happens? He gets a title shot outdoors in a ballpark, and what do I
And the
get?
growing
One-way
rhythm,
ticket to
the
Palooka.
pace is picking up,
As he
attached
gets-
to the breathing.
Yeah. And as he gets more confident in
Yeah.
it, as he started through it.
Like he'll breathe very, very deep to get the breath, to be on the breath, so that moment has a lot of breath control in it. But then he wants to speed up the urgency of the scene. So the breath is going to get shallower, shallower, and shallower.
Mhm.
And then there's one moment there where he'll indicate that he's an older guy who's overweight, who's losing breath control. Most actors are going to wait till I could have been a contender to break down.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
Had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
But he breaks down that moment earlier
And then it's downhill.
there.
Mhm.
Downhill. See, he gets moved by that.
You was my brother.
Try to remember the
I
line.
looked out for you. I could have.
Does he can't remember the line?
Mhm.
It was you, Charlie. It was you, Charlie. How you doing, Jake?
And then the speed with which, because the door opens
Mhm.
and he slips in another
Just one more
One
shot.
more.
Yeah.
One more shot
One more for
before
the
he's done.
road.
It was you, Charlie. How you doing, Jake?
It's like we said, obviously the simplicity, but also it's kind of a thing that all of the the De Niros of the world, like they understand who they are. They understand how they work. They understand how they're going to approach this thing, and the rest of it is window dressing. They're just here to do their thing, and whatever anybody else thinks about it isn't any of their business.
Yeah, let everybody else do their job.
Mm-hmm.
Any damn fool can make something complex,
Of course,
you know.
actors are really good at doing that too.
And it's just so easy to make it complex, because what are you doing? You're avoiding the simple truth of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
He's in there somewhere within that body, that environment. The context is established for us. It's not anything that the actor is responsible for.
Absolutely. Well, this scene is what, 4-ish minutes long, and the movie is what, 2 hours? So there's a whole hour 56 left of context that we, the audience, would get. That, like, can you
Yeah.
imagine trying to fit 2 hours of context into a 4-minute scene?
Well, there are many actors who would try to do that.
A lot of people out there.
Yeah, it's crowded.
And he's also just taking his time to do his thing.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't need to rush. He knows it can edit if it needs to be cut. He doesn't need to do anything other than just be there.
And just like the corner guy.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't half heart that one.
Boss, I'm the boss.
And then we get the fighter back. It's just so simple.
And it's like watching the Mona Lisa, like looking at the Mount Everest. It's just like looking at, you're just standing in the face of brilliance.